has been really, really impressive so far. 6 up, 6 down with a strikeout, and you sort of look at it as a guy who now will not be available for tomorrow, as he's at 26 pitches, and you kind of wonder, was this a guy who would have been a good option to go with tomorrow if Ernie Whitt wanted to go that route?
Tyler, I'm going to admit, I said you in the break, right? Coming back for this inning, seeing him come back out. Watching him throw, it's impressive. It's a tough look. 6'7", straight downhill with that split.
Down and in, 3-1.
Yeah, you can tell this crowd, man, this is their last chance to get loud as they're going to send off this team to the next round, regardless of the score here.
3-1 pitch. Rosario in the air to center. This is a long run in for Denzel Clark, falling in no man's land, and Clark gets there for the out. It was a little bit presumptuous. If Ernie Whitt came out right now, Brock Dykeshorn would be available tomorrow. He's at 29 pitches, but not seeing any movement from that third base dugout. Just sort of assumed, well, the ninth is going to be Dykeshorn's.
Right.
And there is, Adam Macko is throwing in the Canada bullpen, but it looks as though Dykeshorn will go over that 30 pitch mark.
And Tyler, look, we've seen so many international games, and there's something to be said for those guys who are battle tested, right? Who've pitched at different parts of the globe. They've pitched over in Asia, pitched in Korea, pitched in Taiwan in these tournaments before. Yeah, nothing against Cal Quantrill. He's going tomorrow, but again, I'll admit, I said this in the break, man, the way he's looked right now, in complete control, and that look, 6'7" with that split, straight downhill, it would have been a nice option to have tomorrow.
The other thing, too, there are not a lot of guys on that Cuba team who are going to be familiar with Brock Dykeshorn at all.
Right.
There are some guys who maybe have seen him at a minor league stop here and there, but Cal Quantrill, you know, has been present in the MILB and MLB scene for the last decade, and a lot of those guys on that Cuba team have probably had more of a look at him, whereas Brock Dykeshorn brings in this element of the unknown, and it's all a moot point now as he's over 30 pitches. He will not pitch tomorrow, but he's got the first 2 outs here, and that is now 11 straight retired by Canadian pitching.
And just to put a ball on that too, just in regards to Cal Quantrill tomorrow. Cuba has access to look at some of the data, look at some of the pitch tendencies. What does he do with 2 strikes? What does he do to righties and lefties? What kind of extension? They have access to all of that. They can watch all kinds of film on him as well. Again, I know we're overdoing it here a little bit, but just watching Brock Dykeshorn, man, it has been impressive. This entire pitching staff tonight for this Canadian team has been really good. But again, Puerto Rico, this home crowd on their feet. One last chance to send off their team into the next round. So good to see their heroes back here since 2013, first time at this stage.
And the potential last bat of the night for Puerto Rico is a pinch hitter in Emmanuel Rivera. And a bouncer out to second. And Canada will head for its do-or-die matchup tomorrow afternoon on the strength of a 3-2 win over Puerto Rico.
Yeah, well executed. Pitching was outstanding. Defense was rock solid. They got some big hits, some really big at-bats early on. And they're in a good spot for tomorrow, this Canadian team. And on the flip side again, too, look, we saw with this Puerto Rican team, we didn't see the A squad, the lineup they've been rolling out. They will be heading to the next round, but a chance for these fans to send off their boys in style.
Man, Ryan, Canada did take the loss a couple of nights ago to Panama, but their 2 wins have been very, very impressive. But how about this moment here? Puerto Rico's entire club is out of the dugout and saluting the fans along the first baseline. And you and I were lucky enough 3 years ago to witness the love affair between Chinese Taipei and those fans in Taiwan, and the same last year with the qualifier. There is something really special here, just like there is there.
There really is. I think the difference, though, in 2023, Tyler, when we were in Taiwan, was the fact that they weren't sending their boys off to get to the next round. They were eliminated. But this is special here as they take a knee right in front of that dugout one last time.
Taylor. Angel Reyes, formerly a draft pick of the Detroit Tigers, as the pitching coach Ricardo will come out from the first base dugout. He's most recently been in the Mexican League, a couple of stops there last season with the Guerreros of Oaxaca and the Saltillos Araperos. Not great results, 28 games, a 6.68 ERA. But a guy with a big arm.
And this is that hit by pitch we're talking about, off the elbow. No elbow guard here for Josh Naylor. Ooh, and he was in pain too. You know, usually if Josh gets drilled, or he's, you know, talked about carrying that shoulder injury around last September. And he's not one really to vocalize it or show it, but man, he was in pain right there, judging off that reaction. He's still in this game.
We were saying earlier, it's pretty cool to be able to get drilled in the elbow and not need the elbow guard your subsequent 3 plate appearances. And some guys just hate hitting with it. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world if you're not used to it. And Naylor here with a chance to bust this thing open for his squad. And he's in a hitter's count at 2-0. Reyes deals. 3 balls and no strikes. Canada has already plated 2 of its 3 runs tonight on bases loaded walks. The only time they did it on a hit was the inning after.
Presence, man. Josh Naylor in the box, hitting 2 in this lineup.
Here comes the 3-0. He's there. He really, I mean, he just does have that demeanor that is so impossible to rattle in the batter's box. We'll call time here and step out. Reyes with the strikeout of Julian. Trying to work his way back on Naylor. 3-1. Popped him up. Shallow left. Long run Rosario. Inning over. And we will go to the bottom of the 9th. Puerto Rico will try to find some more walk-off magic as they trail it 3-2.
With scores, as long as you win the game. Another 0-2 from Weissert. Henderson lays off. Got him. Weissert strikes out Henderson. 2 gone in the 9th. And it's up to the captain. It's up to Aaron Judge. Well, it came down to the captain in the championship game in 2023 when Trout faced Ohtani. Didn't go the U.S.'s way. The new Captain America, Judge, takes strike 1. Fouls it off. Weissert ahead of Judge 0-2. Just misses. Judge wouldn't bite. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Guys have faced off plenty. Red Sox against Yankees in the WBC. Now the 1-2 pitch. Judge swings and misses, and Italy has pulled off a stunner. The biggest win in Italian baseball history. They shock the United States 8-6. And would you believe that the Dream Team's hopes now rest in the hands of a baseball team from Italy?
Well, the team put in a furious rally, but came up short, and you see that right there. That is something not a lot of people thought could happen.
And so the Americans go from losing to Italy to cheering for Italy tomorrow. That's the clearest path forward, be to have Italy beat Mexico, win the group, drop Mexico to 2-2. The U.S. would back their way in at 3-1. If Mexico were to